Hello everyone, this is Diane. Welcome to Tag Tuesday. This is a collaboration hosted by Sheree Brown at Turquoise Dreaming. I will link her shop below, and you will be able to see links there to all the other participants in hashtag Tag Tuesday. So I am going to make some tags using vintage sewing patterns today. So I've done a little bit of prep. I had already cut these images out from vintage patterns, and I have these tags that are about, what's it, 3 1/8 by 6 1/4, just manila shipping tags. And I took the back portion of the envelope and just Mod Podged it to the tags. I've been letting them dry. I'm going to cut them, and then we will proceed. These are patterns that I got from the antique mall in Owego with my friends. And then I just got a batch of 30 vintage envelopes, or vintage patterns, from the flea market on Monday. I haven't done anything with them. But I had already been working on cutting up. These were images that I thought I would rather make tags and ephemera with than use on a journal cover. So I had been cutting them up, and now I can get some tags made for Tag Tuesday and for future journals. And I may put some sewing pattern tags in my shop when I get enough made. I'm saving these pieces too because I can use them in collage. This one needs a little more drying right up there at the top. I don't usually dry Mod Podge with a heat gun, but I kind of need to move the process along today. I'll have to do some more Mod Podge to put the images on. But I have something that I can do, another step that I can do while I wait for that Mod Podge to dry. I'm thinking I might go to the Barnes flea market today. I was going to go tomorrow. Today's Friday as I'm filming this, not Tuesday. And the flea market is open Friday at noon, and then they're open all day Saturday and Sunday. But I usually go on Saturdays. I used to go on Friday because it's less busy. There were a lot of people there last time I went. I only went once, the opening weekend. And there were quite a few people there, and I like to shop when there aren't so many people. So I might go today, which would be as soon as I'm done filming. Okay, so I have these ready, and I just need to select what images I want to put on them. I like this with the pink dress and that pink part of the pattern. And this might actually be the pattern. There's a coat and a dress. She would need to go on a bigger tag. And her also. I like her. And I like them. I just switched them out because there's blue and aqua here. And I think this one needs to go on something with more color, and these maybe need to go on something smaller. So I had just enough right-sized images. So I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge these little dolls on. This is a matte Mod Podge. I want to add some other little pieces from the patterns. I don't know which of these things came with which pattern, but I like this vintage font on the word simplicity and pattern. Set this aside to dry. And we'll do something else to it. We're not done with it yet. There was a tear in that word pattern and it got a little bit crooked, but I caught it in time and fixed it. There's quite a lot of Mod Podge on there, so I hope that it will dry for us so that we can complete the project today. So I've been working on the Amity Bloom Everyday Journal this week, and I got it far enough along last night so I could clean up at least this section. My sewing area is still a mess, but I cleaned up this section, organized everything, because the next step is making ephemera. So I could clean up the stuff that I'd been using for making the pages. I didn't put it away, I just tidied it and organized it better because it was kind of disastrous here. And so I cleaned up enough so that I have space to do a tag video and maybe a haul video if I go to the flea market. And I don't know, I might take, I really want to finish those everyday journals, but I can't do videos of them, so I might start something else. I don't like to start a project when I have an unfinished project. I don't do well with that mindset. So I don't know what I'll do. I thought I was almost done with the journals, but there are several sections of the course that are making ephemera. First, several for making paper ephemera, and then some for making fabric, using fabric in your ephemera. So I think I still have a ways to go before I actually can put the signatures together and bind them into the book and finish the cover and all that. This pattern number is actually for this pattern, but I might add it to one of these. I don't know what happened to all the other little pieces, like with the pattern numbers. Oh, this one can go on the one with the coat. Not that it matters, but, you know. Or maybe you don't know. Maybe it's just me. Got a little extra piece of paper stuck to it. Alright, now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping to make a few more embellishments to add. I got out some stamps, like postage stamps. And this one says Fancy Goods and Novelties. I don't know if I'll use that. It's a little bit big. And I have a button and that. Oh, I have another set I should have gotten out. This This is from like the top of a thread spool. But I wanted to add some postage stamps, maybe. I got out some real stamps too. Got my binder down. Just some cute little pieces. Let me grab that other stamp set. This one says vintage style or vintage finds. They're very black. Handmade is best. Vintage style. Guaranteed washable. Haven't even used that one yet. Homespun quality. Okay, I think that's plenty. But I don't want to stamp it right on these. These little stamps would get lost, I think, on that. I don't know, maybe. But I have some little pieces that I can stamp on. Some strips of copy dyed paper. Homespun quality. I'll just stamp a bunch of each one while I'm at it. That one went a little crooked. I love these, the Quality Buttons one and this one because of that vintage font. This one says Style Vintage, finest quality brand. And these stamps are from papertrayinc.com. Button Boutique is one of them, and I only have, there's two sets here. I don't remember the name of the other one. Thinner strip for these little words, vintage finds. That's a fun font also. I'll do a button this time. This one says vintage style, I think. It's so little it's hard to see it. Yes, vintage style. Look at that little handwritten style there. And this one is one I've never used. Can't remember what I said that it says, but we'll find out. Guaranteed washable, which I think is perfect for these little girls' garment patterns. And one more. Says homemade is best. If I can get it on there straight. I had it curved. Handmade is best. Maybe I won't use the postal ones because I have so many sewing ones. This is a piece of typing paper. Perfect. Gotta cut the end off so I can get the punch in there properly. This one's probably still too big for this. Yep. And too small for that. I'm letting the Mod Podge dry while I figure these things out. stamped them too close together to center them with that stamp. But this one works. Just barely fits on the width of this. This is a great way to use up some strips of coffee dyed paper. Sometimes I have to turn it over to see where I need to even things up. I can, for some reason, can see the straight line or the slanted line better by flipping it over. And I know I won't use all of these for these 3 tags, but I will set them aside because I have more patterns to use for more tags and other kinds of ephemera. I'm going to need a piece of paper because I can't stamp through this typing paper, I'm sure. I don't think I have a punch that will work on this circle. They're all either too big or too small. I am going to just cut out one of each, and then I'm going to check on the tags. I just want these to be kind of subtle accents. So they don't need to be fancy. Alright, let's see if any of these tags are dry. This one is dry. Guaranteed washable. Homespun quality. I think that's all it needs, and then I can sew around, maybe with a red thread or a black thread. I might end up trimming all of these so that they just are little like that and don't take up space. I think that's cute. And then if I sew around it, maybe with a pretty stitch, and then put some seam binding in there, I think that will be a nice little tag. This one is dry except for where I added the simplicity. We have buttons on that coat, so I'm going to use the quality buttons. That looks better cut out like that. A smaller paintbrush would be better here, I think. I think that's all it needs. So, yeah, I think if I sew around with a pretty stitch, these would look finished. Oh, that's the one I just did. I added the number there already. Handmade is best. It's not something extremely noticeable, but it will be there for those people who like to look at the details. I love to look at the details. It's noon. My clock will only chime 11 because I still haven't changed it. But that means the Barnes flea market is open now. Takes me about 15 minutes once I actually get in the car and start driving. So yeah, I think I will go. Well, this is a start on some sewing tags, sewing ephemera, and these are adorable. I love them. So tell me what you think, and if you want to give this a try, you can find images on Etsy of vintage sewing pattern figures. So if you don't have your own, you can do that. Look at, just go to Etsy and search for vintage sewing pattern digitals. Make sure you, well, you can look for the actual patterns. Some people have those on Etsy, like sometimes I do. But anyway, if you need to find some, you can do that. Or you can try something like this with whatever images you have on hand, with a book page background, a map, pattern paper, whatever you have on hand. I like the black and white because it makes the color image stand out from it. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be back with a haul video from the flea market today. Have a creative day today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.